what we have.
And Tom, stay with me, if you will. I want to bring in retired NYPD officer Jill Snider. Jill, first, your thoughts on this new development.
I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, and I'm really glad that someone hopefully picked up the phone and called 911. Again, this is breaking news. We're all just hearing about it now. Police are en route. NYPD is en route to question the person of interest to see, and again, finding out that there was a firearm that was very similar to the firearm used in the shooting. I mean, that's just really impressive investigative work.
And Tom, we're looking at images of the person of interest, of the suspect in some of these surveillance videos. There were also images we were showing during your last answer where we saw the suspect in these new pictures inside a taxi cab, or this person of interest inside a taxi cab, and another shot outside the taxi cab. What more do we know in terms of additional evidence and clues that developed over the weekend, and what may have tipped the police off that he had, in fact, fled New York City?
Right. So the last video camera that they have, and I'm going to apologize, Anna, because I'm texting, as you can imagine. My phone right now looks like a zoo. But I think at this stage, I would look at this as a significant development in the investigation. That's reporting from Jonathan Dietz and myself, some additional reporting. This is a significant development in this investigation. So that's what we have. As far as where the trail went cold, it was on video surveillance at the Port Authority bus terminal. Now, there's two in New York. Most people know the one near Midtown. This is the one near the George Washington Bridge, way up in Manhattan, and that's where they last lost him. Where he went from there, there was really no sort of evidence that tied him to a specific place. If this arrest was made by the Pennsylvania State Police, they coordinate very well with the NYPD, with their partners at the New Jersey State Police. They would be on top of this, and they have a terrific police and investigative body, particularly in that type of state. I know some of the people that have been involved in this over the years because they investigated the sexual abuse by former Penn State football coach Jerry Sandusky. The state police put that together. So just to give you a sense of their investigative skills. But at this point, this is what is believed to be a significant development. Again, not confirmed definitively it's the suspect, and that's the reason why we're not putting a name out at this stage. But it does appear that they've at least gotten their first break. Whether or not it pans out in an actual arrest, well, we'll soon find out.
Yeah, so Jillian, again, the breaking news right now, police are questioning a man in Pennsylvania, in part because he was found with a gun similar to the one used in the shooting. I'm curious your thoughts in terms of what types of questions law enforcement will be asking this person, and what, more broadly, are your questions this morning, knowing what we have in terms of evidence and clues that have been gathered up to this point?
Well, over the weekend, the only real thing that we saw develop was 2 extra photos come out in New York City from the taxi cab and up by the Port Authority in northern Manhattan. So, like I said a few minutes ago, the way in which the Pennsylvania police most likely were able to find this person of interest was through a phone call, through a tip, because I haven't heard of anything else, and Tom hasn't mentioned it either, anything that would lead us directly to believe that this is in fact the suspect. The fact that we do have him in custody right now, I'm sure they're going to ask him his whereabouts over the last week, probably more so the last 2 weeks. They're going to ask him where the gun came from. We haven't heard any reports that he's licensed or unlicensed to carry a firearm, so I'm sure that's going to be taken into consideration. They're going to, where does he work? Where does he live? Where does he go to school? Where does his family live? They're going to want to know everything about him, but most importantly, they're going to want to track his whereabouts over the last 2 weeks.
And I keep looking at these pictures thinking if they think they have the guy, they would obviously already know who they're looking for, what that person might look like. Much more to come. We'll let you work your sources, Tom Winter. Jillian Snider, please stand by, and we'll continue to follow this story. Again, breaking news, potentially a break in the case involving the healthcare CEO here, killing of the healthcare